Michael and Elena are standing by the Golden Gate Bridge, looking lovingly into each other's eyes. Mike Meyer really seems to be in love with Winona Ryder. He sure does. When Mike Meyer crossed over to the realm of fiction with us, I could feel the passion that he has for Winona Ryder coming from him. Yeah, I hope he meets her. How would you like to go pancakes by the bay? Sure, Mike and Elena went to Pancakes by the Bay. They find a booth next to the window where they can people watch while enjoying some amazing coffee and pancakes. This is incredible coffee, Lelena. I know the richness and complexity of the flavor is something that excites my taste buds in a way that brings my mind, body, spirit, and soul to a place of tranquility and eternal pleasure. Yeah, I like the coffee too. All of a sudden, they are approached by a woman in formal attire named Samantha Henderson. Hi, my name is Samantha Henderson. I'm the editor of Coffee Lovers Monthly here in San Francisco. I overheard your conversation about how much you love the coffee here at Pancakes by the Bay. How would you like to write for my magazine? I'm a documentarian. That's very flattering that you would like me to write for your magazine. I don't have any experience writing about coffee. I think that if you are a good writer, that could translate into any form of writing. You know, that might be very interesting. I would like to write about not only the taste sensation of drinking coffee, but the history of coffee in society, the economic positioning of coffee, and the importance of coffee in American culture. You've got some great ideas already. I'll be back. I'll be back here tomorrow morning. We can discuss the details. I'll see you tomorrow. Samantha Henderson leaves Pancakes by the Bay. Oh, hi. What's your name? Okay, so this is Reality Bites 2. Did you see the movie Reality Bites starring Winona Ryder? This is my script for Reality Bites 2. Okay. Samuel. Oh, hi, Samuel. Oh, this is Reality Bites 2, the script for my Reality Bites 2 script. Okay. Let's go back kind of minute to practice more William Shakespeare dialogue. Sure. Mike and Elena practice more William Shakespeare dialogue. Mike and Elena get up the next morning to meet Samantha Henderson at Pancakes by the Bay. They find a booth by the window where they can watch happy San Francisco people walk by. All right, now I'm trying to find the page because I got this notebook where I got like all these like different stories written. So I'm trying to find the page that where this continues. Just give me a second. I'm flipping through my notebook. Reality Bites 2. Where does it pick up? Okay. Hi, Mike. Hi, Elena. Are you guys ready to discuss the details? Hi, Samantha. Yes, we are. Let's get started. I'm looking for a new writer for Coffee Lovers Monthly who can write not only about the taste sensation of drinking coffee, but how the pleasure of coffee, how the pleasure of drinking this coffee is somehow heightened by the soul substrate that is correlated to the physical pleasure. I can describe it that way. Okay, Lelena. For starters, here's a sample of coffee that was brewed from coffee beans harvested on the mountains of Oregon. This is the most popular coffee at Pancakes by the Bay. Take a sip of it and tell me how you would describe it. Let's see. It has a velvety, rich taste to it and a complexity that excites the taste buds in a soothing way. It has a strong taste to it, but very flavorful. The pleasure of drinking this coffee is enhanced by thoughts of beautiful memories that I have when I was just out of high school, discovering some of the greatest authors, such as Aldous Huxley. I remember reading his novel, Time Must Have a Stop, pondering the unknown nature of reality and the connection of mind, body, soul, heart, and spirit to nature. It was such a liberating time in my life when I came to a solipsistic understanding of self reliance and how being your own best friend is personal empowerment, and how this notion is the ultimate way to perceive life and to truly be free. That being said, solipsism, kind of a difficult word to say, solipsism can only take you so far. Finding your true love in this world is the only way to live a life of meaning and purpose. Um, that's very good, Lily, I think you are brilliant. You start next Monday. I'm happy about that. Let's go back to my condominium and practice more William Shakespeare dialogue. Sure. Michael and Elena practice more William Shakespeare dialogue. Here's an excerpt. After having finished practicing their William Shakespeare dialogue, Mike and Elena had a few beers and talked. They sat on Mike's couch looking out at the Golden Gate Bridge on a beautiful moonlit night. It's so nice to actually be with you, Elena. There have been so many nights that I have sat here alone, dreaming about us together, kissing in the moonlight beneath the Golden Gate Bridge. Um, There's something about the cosmic vibrations that I receive near the Golden Gate Bridge at night that they bespeak a love between you and I that is so profound that it transcends time and space, placing us in an eternal love embrace. Eternal love embrace. I get that feeling beneath the Golden Gate Bridge myself. I want to make love to you, Atlanta. As our bodies are intimately connected, so shall our souls be. As we both feel a heightened state of being, manifested as a transcendent pleasure of the mind, body, spirit, and soul. I know it's more than an empty physical pleasure. Do you want to go to Pancakes by the Bay tomorrow morning? Sure. The next morning arrives, and Mike and Elena go to Pancakes by the Bay for breakfast. They sit in the booth by the window and begin their conversation. Do you like to people watch? Yeah, so do I. There's a whole drama happening right before my eyes. I look out of any window at people walking by, and I can interpret the situations that are taking place. It's like watching a real life movie unfold before my very eyes. I've thought about that myself. Um, what do you find more engaging, happy endings or sad endings? I guess I like them both. I guess it depends on what type of experience a theatrical artist wants to give to the audience when he chooses between a happy ending or a sad ending. I had an idea, Elena. Since looking out of the window at people is like watching a movie to us, why don't we write some dialogue that is inspired by the interactions that we see between people? and put on a play that is a presentation of the interactions that we saw between them. We can tell them that we wrote a play inspired by their behaviors. They can come and see it. I think that would be fascinating. Great idea. Would you like to go back to my condominium practice more William Shakespeare dialogue? Sure. Michael and Leonard practice more William Shakespeare dialogue. The next morning arrives. And Mike and Elena go to Pancakes by the Bay for breakfast and sit in their usual booth and order coffee and pancakes. How is your writing project for Coffee Lovers Month going? Good. It's fun to describe coffee, which is something that I already love in poetic essays. Let me ask you something about this coffee we're drinking. How would you describe this coffee? Let me think about it and try to put it in the best words I can. When I drink this coffee, Lelena, my taste buds are stimulated in a way that heightens the awareness of my soul in a place of immortal love with you, Winona. Lelena, wandering the landscapes of natural beauty in a realm of soul discovery and the fulfillment of my deepest yearnings for human transcendence. I love this coffee too. The flavor is complex. It both soothes and stimulates. It's amazing. Hey, look, Lelena, do you see that man and woman outside? I see them. My interpretation of their social interaction is that they are lovers that were separated. They haven't seen each other in a while. Really? You can glean that much from observing them. Look at the tears in their eyes. I can see a sense of relief and mirthful reunion in their facial expressions. Yeah, Mike, now that I look closer, I agree with you. That's so beautiful. Look, they're getting into a taxi cab. I wonder where they're going. Wherever they're going, I think that they are definitely going to be in our play. This is fascinating. We are able to interpret so many things by observing people's body language. See, Lilana? Body language can convey a whole story. We can write a whole story about these people outside just by observing them. Let's go back to your condominium. Some more William Shakespeare. Some more dialogue, sure. Mike and Elena went back to Mike's condominium to raise more William Shakespeare dialogue. Mike and Elena get up early the next day and take a walk to downtown San Francisco. There, they saw the man and woman who they saw in a lover's embrace from outside of the window of Pancakes by the Bay. Hey, look, Elena. I think it's the man and woman that we saw in a lover's embrace at Pancakes by the Bay. I think it is. Do you want to ask them if it is them? Sure. Mike and Elena walk up to the man and woman and speak to them. Excuse me, sir. What is your name? Hi, my name is Hugh. This is my girlfriend, Isidore. It's nice to meet you, Hugh and Isidore. This might seem very unusual to you, but I have a question. I have an interesting question for you. Go ahead. What's your name? Hi, I'm Mike. This is Lelena. My question is, are you people reunited lovers? As a matter of fact, we are. How were you able to decipher that? Elena and I were sitting at Pancakes by the Bay, having breakfast and coffee, and observing people through the window of the restaurant. I noticed that you can interpret a lot of things from the body language and facial expressions of people from inside a restaurant. This gave me the idea to try to construct a narrative for my observations and put it into a play to present to an audience. Wow, that's a fascinating idea. Really? You could put together a story from observations of people in the street without hearing them speak? There's a whole complex interaction of stories happening in the street. I have a keen sense of what other people are thinking and their lives and how their lives relate to each other. That's great. We want to be involved in that. We want to be involved in it. That's great. Do you want to go back to your condominium with Parker's more really Shakespeare dialect? Sure. Michael and I went back to Mike's condominium and practiced more really Shakespeare dialect. Michael and Lana finished practicing their Shakespeare dialogue and sat on the couch to talk. This is such a beautiful view of the Golden Ridge Bridge from here, Mike. I agree. I see so many lovers in embrace beneath the Golden Gate Bridge. I've so often imagined you and I in a love embrace beneath the Golden Gate Bridge. It is so wonderful to finally be with you. But it sure is. By the Golden Gate Bridge, I can feel a beautiful glow in my heart that keeps me aware of our predestined love. Do you want to go to Pancakes by the Bay tomorrow? Sure. The morning arrives, and Mike and Lana go to Pancakes by the Bay for breakfast and coffee. They get their usual booth by the window. Let's look out the window to see what kind of body language is going on out there. Sure, yeah. Michael and Lana look out the window and see a tall man with long hair and sunglasses walking past another man. He shoves a package in the other man's coat pocket. The other man then proceeds to shove the same package into the coat pocket of a woman. The woman then smiles at the man and climbs into a Chevy Corvette, which proceeds to cruise off at high speeds into the San Francisco morning. What was that? I don't know. It kind of looks sinister. I would like to get that in the play. I wonder what was in the package. I don't know. I hope it wasn't some top secret plans drawn up by aliens to take over the Earth. Come again. Wow, that's a wild speculation. Well, sometimes my imagination runs wild, Lelena. I think about the possibilities of aliens actually existing on other planets. I then think of possible ways that they might travel here and assimilate into our society, convincing us that they are also Earthlings when they are actually aliens involved in some kind of conspiracy. Or that package could have just been something that was ordered by somebody. In any event, I want to know more about this. It just seems too suspicious to me. I can see from the body language there is something going on. I want to find out. How are we going to find out? I have a feeling they'll be back tomorrow. We'll come back tomorrow to Pancakes by the Bay and see. That'd be good. Would you like to go back to your condominium and break some more for the streets around? Yeah. Michael and Elena went back to Mike's condominium and break some more William Shakespeare dialogue. Here's the next one. Mike and Elena got up the next morning and went to Pancakes by the Bay for breakfast and coffee. They sat at their usual booth by the window. This is so suspicious to me, Elena. I wonder what's in that package that people keep passing back and forth to each other. Your alien conspiracy theory seems very unlikely to me. I don't agree with you. You never know, Lelena. Somebody that you've known for years might actually be an alien who has transmogrified into human form. Some people may be the spawn of aliens and they aren't even aware of it themselves. Maybe someday an alien ship will come and take these alien spawn to their true homes on some distant planet. Maybe in another galaxy. Let's get this straight, Mike. You actually have a theory that some people might actually be alien spawn, and that possibly someday an alien spaceship is going to come and take them back to their native planet. That's my point exactly, Lelena. I look at this as a realistic possibility to be considered. We'll see. Look out the window, Lelena. Do you see the woman pulling up in the Corvette? I see her. Look at that beautiful ass in that satiny dress that looks more like lingerie than it does a dress that you would wear in public. Are you lusting after her, Mike? Not at all, Elena. I'm your man. My lust is all for you. I was just noticing how luscious her ass looks in that satiny dress and feeling my, you know, thicken and grow harder as at the sight of her. We'll talk about that later. You are not to think about other women. Let's just see what she's up to. Look, she's passing off the package to another woman. They're kissing passionately. Now she's walking off with a man who looks like her lover, a bisexual woman. That's a turn on. What are you, a porn star? I thought you were a romantic. Believe me, Lelena, I'm a romantic. You sure don't sound like a romantic. I'm a romantic, Lelena. This is just a character I'm playing. All that beautifully romantic stuff you said to me about feeling an inner glow of predestined love beneath the Golden Gate Bridge was so wonderful. Like, now you give me some sleazy talk about the sight of another woman in the street. There are weird dichotomies in me, Lelena. As much as my libido is stimulated by the sight of sexy women, I'm fully committed to you. I'm a romantic. See if that's true in the future. Look now, Lelena. The woman that the package was passed to is running off, and a whole bunch of other women are chasing her. I wonder what's going on. I hope we find out soon. Would you like to go to Baxter Condominium or Price and Later Shakespeare? Like, sure. Michael and Lena went back to Mike's Condominium, Price and Later Shakespeare. Here's a excerpt from it. Okay, Romeo and Juliet. C2 Capulet's Orchard. Enter Romeo. He just the scars that never felt the wound. Enter Juliet above at a window, but soft. What light through yonder window breaks? It is the east, and Juliet is the sun. Arise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon, is already sick and pale with grief. That thou her maid art more fair than she? Be not her maid, for she is envious. Her vessel ivory is but sick and green, and none but fools wear it. Cast it off, it is my lady, always my love, whether she knew she were. She speaks as she says nothing. What of that? Her eye discourses, I will answer. I am too bold. 'Tis not to me she speaks, to the fairest stars in all the heaven, having some business do entreat her eyes till they twinkle in their spheres till they return. What if her eyes were there, they in her head? The brightness of her cheek were shameless stars as daylight doth a lamp. With the airy region streams so bright that birds would sing and think it were not night. See how she leans her cheek upon that her hand? Oh, that it were a glove upon that hand, that I might touch that cheek. She speaks, oh, speak again, bright angel, for thou art as glorious as eyes, being over my head as a winged messenger of heaven, unto the white upturned wondering eyes of mortals that fall back to gaze on him, when he bestrides the lazy pacing clouds and sails upon the bosom of the air. Alack, there lies more peril in thine eye than 20 of their swords. Look thou but sweet, and I have proof against their enmity. I would not for the world they saw thee here. I have night's cloak to hide me from their eyes. Look thou but sweet. And but thou love me, let them find me here. My life were better ended by their hate than death prorogued wanting thy love. By whose direction foundst thou out this place? By love that first did prompt me to inquire. He lent me wings, and I lent them counsel. I am no pilot, yet wert thou as far as that vast shore, washed with the farthest sea I should adventure for such merchandise. Lady, by yonder blessed moon I vow that tips with silver all those fruit tree tops. Oh, swear not by the moon, the inconstant moon, that monthly changes in her circled orb, lest that thy love prove likewise variable. What shall I swear by? Do not swear at all. Or, if thou wilt, swear by the gracious self, which is the God of my eldership, and I'll believe that. If my heart still love, well, do not swear. All thy joy in thee, I have no joy in this country tonight, is too like the lightning to which thoughts cease to be. Or one could say, light and sweet good night. This bud of love by summer's orbiting breath may prove a beauteous flower when next we meet. Good night. Good night, as sweet repose and rest. Come to thy heart as that within my breast. Oh, wilt thou leave me so unsatisfied? What satisfaction canst thou have tonight? The exchange of thy faithful love's vow for mine. I gave thee mine. Yeah, that was the word to give again. Wouldst thou withdraw it? For what purpose, love? But to be frank and give it thee again. And yet, I wish for the thing I have. My bounty is as boundless as the sea. My love is deep. The more I give to thee, the more I have, or both are infinite. Oh, blessed night. Being a night, all this is but a dream, too flattering sweet to be substantial. All right, I'm going to go to the end of the play now. Let's see. The end of the play. Give me that mattock and the wrenching iron. Well, take this letter early in the morning. See thou deliver it to my father. Give me the light. Upon thy life I charge thee. Whatever thou hearest or seest, stand all aloof. And do not interrupt me in my course. Why I descend unto this bed of death is partly to behold my lady's face, but chiefly to take thence from her dead finger a precious ring. A ring that I must use in dear employment. Therefore hence be gone. But if thou jealous dost return to pry what I farther shall intend to do, by heaven, I will tear thee joint by joint and strew this hungry churchyard with thy limbs. The time and my intents are savage wild, far more fierce and more inexorable than empty tigers or the roaring sea. I'll be gone, sir, and not trouble ye. So shalt thou show me friendship. Take thou that. Live and be prosperous, and farewell, good fellow. I'm going to go right to the end of the play. So wait a minute. Okay. This letter doth make good the friar's words, their course of love, the tidings of her death. And here he writes that he did buy a poison of a poor apothecary, and therewithal came to this ball to die and lie with Juliet. Where be these enemies? Capulet, Montague, see what a scourge is laid upon your head, that heaven finds means to kill your joys with love. And I, for winking at your discords too, have lost a brace of kinsmen, all are punished. Cover, oh, brother Montague, give me thy hand. This is my daughter's jointure, for no more can I demand, but I can give you the more, for I will raise her statue in pure gold. That whiles Verona, by that which name is known, there shall no figure of such rate be said as that of true and faithful Juliet. As rich shall Romeo by his ladies lie, poor sacrifices of our enmity. A glooming peace this morning with it brings. The sun, for sorrow, will not show his head. Go hence, I have more talk of these sad things. Some shall be pardoned, and some punished. For never was a story of more woe than this of Juliet and her Romeo. Fuck. Okay.